So you've been trying hard to get jet sweep or rocket to go, whether you're under center or in the gun. Maybe you just keep getting tackled for loss. You can't seem to block the edge, or you keep getting called for holding. Well, I can help with that.
We're not going to get a second chance in the game.
Good day, coaches. Thank you so much for stopping by the channel. This is a topic near and dear to my heart. So many coaches really want to make rocket or jet sweep go, and I don't blame them. I love it. I have always been a huge proponent of rocket. Now, I'm an under center guy, but I wouldn't have to be. If I'm a gun guy, I would want jet. I believe wholeheartedly in stretching the defense. You've got to hold them accountable horizontally. Now, you can hold defenses accountable horizontally by throwing things like bubbles, but you can really set up some incredible counter plays or complements in the run game that are really home run hitters off of a horizontal run game. So you're going to want to get good at this. Now, before I jump in, I want to make sure you guys are aware of more resources that are available to you guys. If you happen to like my style of play or my style of coaching, you want to learn more from me, I've linked that below. I've got a website there that takes you to some of the video series that I've made on my personal favorite defense, my favorite offense, how I like to attack. So you can find that down there. But also, I like learning from other guys as well, which is why for the last over a decade of my life, I've traveled the country, have made videos of some of the top coaches in the country, and posted it all right here on the channel. So click join, right? Join, man. You can get mic'd up practices. I've already released 2 this fall and more to come. I've already recorded 4 other practices. And also just last week added to our huge library this video from Chris Roberts, an assistant football coach at Northland High School in Columbus, Ohio. And his presentation was on offensive line EDDs, setting the tempo and pace. If you are passionate about being a good football coach, you have to be a tireless learner. Keep looking for resources and keep being willing to sit down and listen to someone else speak. Back to our topic, we're talking about attacking the perimeter. Now, because attacking the perimeter can lead to some problems, coaches can end up giving up on it and giving up on it too early. It is easy to give up on it because it's an easy out. You can say, we just don't have fast guys. You can say that. It's easy for a coach to say, like, we don't have anybody that's going to make the conference finals this year in the 100-meter dash. And maybe you don't. But I would argue that you can still attack the perimeter, and that not only you can, but you should still attack the perimeter. Now, maybe you're not going to hit as many home runs this year when you don't have a kid that could make the conference finals in the 100-meter dash. But that is where my conversation really kicks off. See, there are 3 things really that affect your ability to attack on the perimeter. Number 1 is timing. Number 2 is alignment, which is really your formation and your scheme. And number 3 is actually how you block, right? The physical act of the block itself. How do you coach that? If you can get good in those 3 areas, you can effectively attack the perimeter. Now, before we get into those 3, I have to talk to you about understanding the purpose of attacking the perimeter. Now, in most cases, once you get beyond the age of, let's say, 12 years old, it's no longer about just getting to the edge, right? Give it to your fastest kid, let him get to the edge, and he hits a home run. He runs that 60-yard rocket toss for a touchdown. Once you get into high school ball, really, but it can happen at younger levels. There are youth football programs in this nation that play at a high level. Once you begin to play at a higher level, it's just not realistic to toss it to a fast kid and expect him to outrun everyone. Right? Kids, defenders are fast too. They begin to understand angles and they'll chase him down. Or they'll stop your play dead in the backfield before you can get it started. So you have to get good at things in order to attack the perimeter. So what you have to understand is once you start to play the game at a higher level, your horizontal run game, that's not your home run hitter. You're really attacking horizontally to set up your home run plays. Now, your home run plays come in two versions. Number one, it is a complementary run play to the horizontal action. Now, that horizontal run play can come right off tackle. It can come in the form of a counter play, but those complementary run plays that attack more at the heart of the defense, those are the home run hitters. And because you've held people accountable by stretching horizontally, you're able to really gut them when you attack straight ahead, right? You show something horizontal with motion, you show horizontal action, and you attack them right up the gut. Now, the second way you hit home runs is through the air. You show your horizontal attack and you throw it vertically to hurt them, right? That happens when they really start getting their secondary involved, whether they're rolling a safety or bringing a corner hard at your motion, right? You want to force teams to respond to the motion that you're bringing, and then you want to take advantage of what they're doing to respond. So when they begin to respond with their secondary to the motion and try to take away your horizontal run game with the secondary, that's when you have to have complementary plays to your horizontal run game that attack vertically, right? It could be in form of simple vertical from the X receiver. It could be a post wheel, maybe you have a wing or a slot that's going to attack through a wheel, but you have to be ready to attack vertically off of your horizontal action, right? So you are using your horizontal run game to set up your home runs, not to hit home runs. And I think that understanding that is the first step to beginning to turn the corner here and really be effective with your horizontal run game. So instead of thinking, how are we going to hit home runs with our rocket toss, with our jet sweep, it's how are we going to force them to respond to it? How do we run it enough? You have to run it often enough and well enough that they have to think about how to stop it. They have to begin to cheat. They have to move defenders as they see motion, right? That's what we're going for. Who are they moving and how do we hurt who they're moving? Okay, now that I've touched on that, on the philosophy and the understanding of why you want to attack horizontally, now let's talk about actually doing it. First and foremost, step one, improve timing. If we look here at the whiteboard, I've got this orange area highlighted, and this area right here is what we should not have to block. We are taking care of this entire area with our timing. Our timing needs to be good enough that we really don't have to block anyone from the center. Of course, the rest of this side, right, this back side. You have to protect your quarterback. Outside of protecting our quarterback, we don't have to block anyone from the center to the outside shoulder of the tackle. That's how good we want to get at our timing. Now, I would never want to just allow this DN to run vertically, but in theory, I want to have such good timing that a DN running true vertical could not make this play because we're too good at the timing of it. That ball is taken from point A to off tackle so quickly that a defender cannot run from the line of scrimmage at a 5-tech vertically to 5 yards in time to make the play. He can't do it, right? That's what we have to do. We've got to be good enough timing that we don't even have to worry about blocking any vertical defender from the center on out to the outside shoulder of our tackle. Now, in order to get that good, you have to have a lot of repetitions. Now, I do get sick of repeating myself. I say that a lot, repetition, repetition, repetition. But the reality is you get good at what you practice. You get good at what you emphasize. So if you want to be good at attacking horizontally, you need to run it a lot. You can't just draw up the scheme, run it twice that week, just in team offense, and expect it to go. It's just not realistic. Now, if you have a couple kids that are so athletic, they just get it done, great, right? But that's not you. That wasn't you. That's just the kids. You happen to be loaded. You have to rep this quite a bit. Likely, rep it daily. So if I am in the gun, that's a lot of timing. I've got to time up my cadence so that the kid that's the slot that's coming in motion to take this jet is running at full speed, and the quarterback has to know when to snap it so that I can snap, catch, give in as short amount of time as possible. Now, if you're not a give guy and you want to flip it forward, same, right? You got to time that up. It needs to be so quick. Catch, flip, catch, give needs to be practically in one movement if you're going to attack that perimeter quick enough that you don't have to worry about blocking anyone to the outside shoulder of that tackle. So you tell me how long that takes to time up. Because realistically, unless you're going to have the exact same slot back taking this fake every single time, you've got to time it up with a couple different guys because they run at different speeds. So the quarterback cadence would have to be consistent, or if you're a clap guy, he'd have to be good at timing up visually when I'm going to bring this guy in motion and when I'm going to clap my hands. He has to be good at that. It takes a lot of time and a lot of practice. Now, if you're an under center guy like me, now I need a ton of practice at bringing this man in motion, bringing him to 5 yards. I need a lot of practice in bringing this man in motion, right? And I want him to be at the heels, what we would say, at the heels of the fullback and sprinting straight horizontally down that 5-yard line. And we would love to catch this toss outside the tackle, like on the out. That's where we want to catch the toss, on the outside shoulder of that tackle. That takes timing and repetition too. It's not that easy for a quarterback to take a hard snap from a strong kid. Boom, that ball hits your hands with force. Take that snap, reverse out, and to pitch an accurate toss. It's not that easy to do. Coaches, we can get a little, I guess, I'm guilty too, right? We get a little ignorant we just look at it, it looks easy. But in reality, to pitch that thing to a sprinting human, likely one of the fastest kids on your team, and hit him in stride, a ball that's very easily caught, it's not that easy, right? It's no easier than shooting a 3-point shot right off as soon as you catch the pass. Catch, shoot, right? Like takes time. So you've got to rep it enough that your kids can get good at this. All right, so number one, you've got to get good at the timing. Right? I'm fired up, man. I get excited about this. This takes time, and you got to commit to it. So, do you want to be good on the perimeter running? Well, then commit to be running, or commit to be good at attacking the perimeter. Rep it a lot. It's a part of your practice plan. Next, now that we've talked about timing, we're going to take care of that whole area by timing. Now we're going to take care of this next area. Let me make another one of these boxes right here. Okay, box number 2. Now we want to take care, and again, I'm trying to get 4 yards. I'm not worried about hitting a home run here. I'm saying, how do I draw up a horizontal run play that is a threat that needs to be dealt with? That's what I need, something that needs to be dealt with. So I'm thinking 4 yards. I'm not thinking 40. Once in a while, they'll hit for 40 when we get good at it, but I'm thinking 4. Well, now I'm going to take care of this purple area by my alignment, by my formation. If I have a good formation, I can take care of this area. So what's this area? Well, this area is where you get that wide 5 technique. So a wide defensive end that happens to truly be playing vertical, and or a linebacker or safety that has rolled down that could take it away vertically as well. So now I'm going to take care of these 2 players with my alignment. So by taking care of alignment, I think, in my opinion, one of the best things to do is to run a reduced split. A reduced split. This man should be, how far away? Well, I always say close enough that he can down block, or what used to be known as a crack block, on an outside linebacker. So how close does he need to be? Well, I don't know. How close is this defender? Is this guy truly running up to the line of scrimmage? Then I'm going to line him up here. How close do I need to be able to down block / crack block on that outside defender? Okay. Now, They're probably not. It's not realistic to have a wide 9, a wide 5, and an outside linebacker. They're not going to send both. They're going to have one or the other. So if it is a wide defensive end, how wide do I need to be as this receiver to be able to down block him? And if it's not him, and instead the threat is the outside linebacker, well, where do I need to be in order to make sure that I'm going to get there on this outside linebacker that's going? So now I can take care of this purple area with my alignment. Now, yeah, we're going to work on blocking that and how to block, but the reality is I want to be in the proper position that my body's in the way by nature. Get in the way. So now I've taken care of the orange area because I rep it a lot and I'm good at it with timing. And I've taken care of the purple area because I ran a smart alignment. Right out of the gate, we've got a good thing cooking here. We're in a good situation to put a good play together that needs to be dealt with. Now, there are several good-looking formations you could attack out of. It doesn't have to be this, right? Maybe I'm going to run some sort of a bunch, right? Maybe I run bunch. Let's get rid of some of my other lines. And we're out of the gun, and I'm going to run bunch and just toss to my F right here. Well, this is a great-looking, look at the situation we're in. If I can get some good timing, maybe I even bring this guy out of empty and bring him in motion and run him on a jet sweep. Well, look at this, man. I've got the orange area taken care of by my timing. I don't have to worry about that. And now I've got 3 guys here to protect the purple area. Now you might think, okay, well, what about all this out here? Well, the reality of all this area out here is it's just a stupid area to play someone vertically. I mean, just nobody plays anyone vertically way out there. It's just not very smart. You're 15 yards away from the ball. You're wasting a man to play that vertically, right? So 9 times out of 10, you're going to have a player out here that has to backpedal, right? Maybe they sit with some sort of a cover 2 look, and he can be a hard-playing player. But, of course, we're going to get to blocking. That's the last part, right? So alignment. Alignment scheme. Now let's talk a little bit of scheme. I think the best scheme is to have, I'm going to get rid of know that we're expecting a vertical player here just outside the tackle. We're expecting one. The best scheme is to have minimum one player blocking down and 1 player arcing, right? So there's your quote unquote reach block, but we're going to touch on that in the last segment. That's the best scheme. Now, in this case, I'm going to get to have 2 players down blocking and 1 arcing in this formation, right? But every formation is different. All right, so let's go ahead and go back to that first formation I had up, which was not the first, but the first one I drew up out of this, some sort of like a wing T look. And I'm also going to adjust this formation a little bit. All right, so I've got to get my R back. I accidentally deleted him. But let's go ahead and block this out of this formation just for teaching's sake. All right, so I know that I'm going to align so that my X can down block or crack block on this outside linebacker. He's the vertical player I'm worried about, right? He's the player that's going to run this way. I'm going to be in a situation to be able to down block him. And now my wing, here's how I'm going to teach him. I'm going to make sure that he is stepping. His first foot step has to be flat, right? He is prepared to take this man. I'm prepared to take this man. I'm responsible for the first man outside of me. I'm prepared to take him. But if my buddy takes him, I will look and move on to the next man. Okay? So I am thinking him first. So worst case scenario, this guy comes here and beats my X, and my H should be prepared to take him because that's who he's thinking right away. That's the first threat outside of him. So I'm going to turn and run flat. Do not run at this angle, and this is probably one of the most common mistakes, this angle. That's what gets you beat to the outside. Run horizontally. And then, once my buddy takes him, I can move on. Now, schematically for me, once I've moved on, once my buddy has taken the guy in front of my face, now I don't care if you take this next man inside or outside. I need you to get to him, and this is really becoming a stalk block. Get to him and take him the direction he needs to go. Because your quote-unquote reach block, that was already taken by your buddy. Now, my tackle is responsible for the same thing. Step horizontally. I'm thinking that I'm going to take this defensive end right here because he's the first man outside of me. So my tackle and my wing they have the same rule. First man outside, unless he gets blocked by your buddy. So I am going to step horizontally. I'm going to race that man to the sideline, and once I get him beat, when I beat him, now I can turn and block him. Okay? Details to come. Everybody else, guard, center, guard, your job is to protect my quarterback so he can get this toss or jet sweep off. He can get rid of it. So if he's under center, you got to protect your A-gaps. If he's in the gun, you honestly don't even have to worry about the A-gaps. But I'm going to make sure that this man cannot get to my quarterback. And so long as he's not in an A-gap and can't get to my quarterback, then I'm not going to worry about this tackle. I am going to take an angle in the direction where I know the play is going, and I'm going to try to get up to the next level and get to in the way of the next man. So that's the rule for all these men. Step to the play side and get to the next level, with one exception, and that is protect, take any A-gap threats, especially if you're under center. Now, I have seen some coaches, and I like this thought, that will actually take the backside guard and backside tackle and let them race away, run away from the play call. Why not? Right? Why not? It's confusing to interior backers. Everything splits if you've got line readers as linebackers, which a lot of the best teams do. It's confusing. And they're not doing anything else anyway. This backside guard, he's not going to help your rocket sweep go. Run the other way, right? Again, priority number one, protect your quarterback from an A-gap threat, but outside of that, run away. Athletics are becoming an increasingly large part of our society, and as participation in our athletics grow, each of us are left scrambling to fill the coaching spots with the best available people in our building and community. These individuals become the most visible and impactful people in our entire district, and we hope they are equipped with the skills to lead 30, 50, sometimes 100 teenagers through the emotions of a long and difficult season. Furthermore, we expect these coaches to want to be excellent at what they do. Is there anything that would be a better investment for our student athletes than great coaches? It's time to commit to our coaches' development and take the cost of finding great ideas through coaching videos out of the family budget, and take the opportunities of finding other great coaches in your field off the family calendar. Coach Ed is a platform for coaches and athletic directors to be encouraged, educated, connected, and inspired to be great at what they do. With 3 impactful courses, mic'd up practices so your coaches can evaluate their own systems with a critical eye, and presentations from top-notch high school coaches around the nation, your coaching staff will have access to consistent growth opportunities. If you haven't yet done so, check us out at coach-ed.com. That's coach-ed.com. So now there we are. We have talked about the schematics of blocking on horizontal stretch plays. So that leaves us just one thing. And the last thing is the actual blocking itself. Now, many of you that have followed me for years, you already know this, but some of you might be newer to my stuff, we'll call it, how we've coached for a while. We've been good on the perimeter. We've been good because we prioritize it, no doubt about it. There was nothing special about us, which is important to us. So we spend a lot of time on it. But I think it's important to block like this. Instead of reach blocking, we first of all started by changing the name. Instead of reaching, because I think innately the word reach implies to reach. I mean, that's what the word means in our language, reach. So when I say reach block somebody, a guy's going to reach. At least he's thinking like that. But this is what gets you called for holds. You don't want to get called for holds. So instead of reaching him, we want to race him. Race. This is now called a race block. Our kids wouldn't know what a reach block is in theory, right? If they're not watching football outside of what we do. It's race. And that's that you're racing the first man outside of you. You're racing him to the sideline. So that means on go, you turn and you look that way to the sideline and you run. Turn, look, run. And when you believe, when you know, I have now beat I have the leverage on that first man. I'm outside of him or even with him and outside of him. Now I can take the arm furthest from the block, right? So if we're going this way, I want this arm to rip across. So we're going to rip. We're going to race and rip across. I want to get the back of my armpit to my opponent and get in front of him. And once I've gotten in front of him, now I'm going to use my body to leverage him and start to work upfield so that he has to commit to going inside of me. And once he has to commit to going inside of me, I've won. Now, if he won't commit to going inside of me and he wants to square me up and try to run me over, now once I've got him reached, I can start squaring up. And I could use this outside hand, but I don't need you to use your outside hand. Rip in front, win leverage, and we've won on this play. If I can get you to commit to going inside of me, we've won on this play. So that is a blocking tip that I highly recommend using. It has helped us get less penalties, less holding penalties when attacking the perimeter. And if you're going to attack the perimeter a lot, you're going to get called for holding. So there you go. Hopefully you learned something, or hey, do you do something different that has been good to you to help you attack the perimeter? Please leave that comment below. If this did help, let us know that below. Any interaction, a thumbs up, a share, a comment, those things help us out a lot and we appreciate it. Don't forget, check out my own personal website if you want more from me, or be sure to join if you're serious about your coaching career and you want to be a learner. I cannot recommend it enough.